So here's some decaf I got ready tonight. It's pretty late, so got this ready for the morning. And here's the empty jar of the instant organic decaf. The upstairs tenants, after the fact, did leave the package with that outside. So the next time I order this, hoping it arrives. Now that I've gone through most of it, I'm going to briefly review it probably because it's great instant decaf. I took what was left of it and put it in one of my clean Tupperware. So I wanted to make this coffee organization video of something I'm doing now. Hopefully this can help someone. I know coffee lovers might cringe because I'm storing freshly grinded coffee beans. Bear with me if the audio doesn't completely line up with the video because that's hard to line up with the voiceovers. It's also late at night doing all this. I didn't grind the whole bag of coffee beans as I like to have some fresh beans on hand to make fresh. I can make an update video later on if the taste is any different. I'm doing this for time management and to make my life a little easier as I don't always have time to grind the beans. And the PC Swiss Water organic coffee I like that is pre-grounded is very small container and it doesn't last long. I also wanted to give a brief review on the Club Coffee Craft Roasters decaf I made a video on. After using it a few times, I realized it's really not great quality coffee. So if you're like me and really care about the quality of your coffee, I completely understand. So after grinding how much I normally would for 12 cups, I was scooping that into the empty decaf jar. I'm not sure if it would have a taste difference if you're emptying this into a plastic container, but I'm going to show the other Tupperwares I washed out later in the video, as well as my protein container, which was almost done. I took what was left and put in my next protein container. And I thought it was neat. The scoops are green now in the protein containers. So yeah, I emptied what was left of my other protein container and put it in the new one. I did wash out the protein container this time, although normally would just rinse before recycling because setting aside for possibly putting more coffee in this too. You guys can let me know if you've done something like this with the glass jar for storing to keep coffee fresh. In total, I was able to grind up what I normally would for 3 brews worth to fit in the jar, although there was a bit left over, so I ended up putting it in the coffee brewer for tomorrow morning's brew. I was still thinking if I had more or if the Tupperware was dry, then would have been worth it to add to the Tupperware or protein container, but not for this little amount I had left over. Also, a bigger glass jar is not a bad idea if you have something like that, or even from the thrift store. I also labeled the outside of the jar so I don't accidentally get it mixed up for instant coffee, since that's pre-grounded coffee in the instant coffee jar. That's what I've been using from the jar the past little while is the instant coffee, but yeah, now it's the pre-grounded coffee in there. So yeah, that's pretty much it, just cleaning up the coffee grinds. The Tupperware I washed out really thoroughly because sometimes new plastic has that slight residue feel to it. If it's not, if this was not Rubbermaid or BPA free, I would not have bought it. Also showed briefly how I store the containers to air dry so I don't have to spend extra time using a towel or something to dry them out. I just leave the lid at the side slightly, and this has always worked, and I stack them like this. Also air dried the protein scoop on a tissue and showed the others I kept from previous protein containers in a Ziploc. And to end the video on a funny note, I didn't get to use the bread hair scrunchies I showed in that other video because I threw them through the wash and then through the dryer. I realize now just should have thrown them only through the wash, and after they came out of the dryer they were completely apart, the bread from the scrunchie, so I cannot use them because of the sticky plastic stuff, so I will have to reuse them. I will have to reorder them and make sure not to throw them through the dryer next time if I get them again. So that's it, you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and hopefully this could help someone. And let me know what you do with your coffee, or if you have any ideas like that.